In these problems, we are solving equations where the variable has an exponent that is 1 over some number. It's a fraction. So in this one, we've got x to the 1/3 equals 3. So how do we do that? Well, just like solving other kinds of equations, we're going to try to undo whatever's been done to x. In this case, x to the 1/3 is the same as the cube root of x. So if I were to cube it, I'd be I'd be undoing that. Of course, we have to do that to both sides of the equation. And another way to think about this, when you take an exponent to an exponent, you're multiplying the exponents. 1/3 times 3 is 1. So we're going to get x to the first power, which is just x. And that's what we want. Now, 3 to the third power is 3 times 3 times 3. That's 27. So it looks like this is our answer. X is 27. You're going to want to be careful, though. Sometimes you'll get an answer, and it won't work if you plug it back in. In this case, it certainly works. 27, take the cube root of it, you get 3. So I'm pretty confident that we're okay there. There are some special circumstances that are going to come up. We'll see those as we go along. We'll do a few more here and see if we run into those. Okay. Here we have y to the 1/3 equals -2. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to undo that cube root by taking it to the third power. So y to the 1/3 to the third is just y. And -2 to the third power is -8. Got to keep that negative sign because that's -2 times -2 times -2. And if we were to take this back and plug it in here, if y is a -8, the cube root of -8 is -2. So that works. Let's try one more. So here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. We've got v to the 1/4 equals 2. Okay, so I'm going to take the same approach I did before. I'm going to raise this to the fourth power, though, because we've got a 1/4 there. 4 times 1/4 is going to be 1. And we take 2 to the fourth power. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is going to be 16. So we would get v equals 16. And that does seem to work. If we take the fourth root of 16, you get 2. So that works. However, one like this, you've got to be careful of. So if you apply our method here, take everything to the fourth power, 5 to the fourth power, 5 times 5, -5 times -5, sorry, is a positive 25, and 25 times 25 is 625. We would get u equals 625. If you were to plug this back in, the fourth root of 625 is positive 5. We started with a -5. So this does not work. You can't take the fourth root of something and get a negative number, just like you can't take the square root of something and get a negative number. So in this case, there is no solution. All right, that's a little bit of work in solving equations with those exponents that are fractions.